Hello, so I've just finished day 3 with Peds. We actually went down to the ward today, got to see a patient in person, which was a bit of a rare treat at the moment. With COVID, it's been quite difficult getting any face-to-face patient interactions. So we saw a young girl, discussed her case. I won't go into any detail, but it was quite upsetting to see. And then afterwards had a really good chat with the Paediatric dietitian, so he explained a little bit about his career progression, what got him into peds, and explained what type of cases they see, how they interact with the other services, and how it's like a very multidisciplinary team-focused profession. So something I'm very interested in. I would like to spend a bit more time with them. We've got one more day tomorrow, but for today, heading home, and I've got a little bag of tricks. So I'll show you what's in there a little bit later on. So I'm at home now, and I've got my glamorous assistant Nieve with me as well, who's keeping an eye on things. So as part of our paediatric placement, we've been encouraged to try all of the supplements that might be available, just so we have an idea of what they taste like. And when you're recommending something, then you can be a little bit more honest and have a better understanding of what it's like. So I'm going to start with the Cow and Gate First Infant Milk from birth. So this is nutritionally complete, and it's suitable to use as an alternative to breast milk, but obviously we'd always encourage breast is best. So you can see that one there. So I'm going to give this one a go. So it looks quite thin. It smells a little bit like rice milk. That's okay. That's not too dissimilar from like a UHT or maybe a soy milk. It's quite sweet. Don't mind that at all. I'd happily have that. Okay, next up we've got the SMA 6 months plus follow-on milk, and this one is supplemented with iron and omega-3 and 6. So I think when we were reading around, there's a number of like official resources, including the BDA, that don't really encourage these. They don't see them as necessary, but I think some people, if they work, they work. A bit of a stronger smell, a bit of a cheesier smell with that. Doesn't smell quite as nice. Oh, okay, so maybe a little bit sweeter, not bad. But you can definitely, it's got like a metallic taste to it, so I guess that would be the iron. So it's there a little bit at the end. Would you like some, would you? Are you falling? Just a sec. Right, someone's decided she'd like to join. She didn't like watching from afar. But she didn't get to try anything because she's exclusively on the boob at the moment. Aren't you? Right, okay. So next up, I'm going to try and balance things now. You parked by there? Is that okay? Okay, my assistant has had to leave, unfortunately. She had a date with a clean nappy. So, third, we've got the Nutramigen LGG hypoallergenic formula. So this is for the dietary management of cow's milk allergy. From our learning, you can see that there's 2 types of feeds they might use. So we've got the extensively hydrolyzed protein, which is what this is, and then there's also an amino acid formula, so that's been broken down even further. So if they still have issues with this, then they'd go on to the amino acid formula. So here's some I made earlier. I'm not going to use these. I've got my other assistant here now as well, who'd probably happily try some. Okay, let's see. Ooh, smells quite sour. Not as nice as the other 2 by a long way, but bottoms up. Oh, might have to have some of the others to wash that down. Oh my goodness. Not very nice, Lou. That's very sour. No sweetness to it whatsoever. Oh. Now, interestingly, I was talking to one of the paediatric dietitians about this when he saw we had it out, and he said that they actually find with some of the kids, trying to wean them off it can be quite difficult. So obviously they've got a very different palate to me. I think because I've tried the sweeter ones before it as well, it's the biggest shock. So I guess, yeah, if you don't know much different and there's nutrients in it, maybe it is quite nice. Okay, on to the last one. So this is the Nutritia Fortini, ooh, creamy fruit, berry fruit. So this is more like a dessert pot. I think this is more for nutrition support. So it's like a yogurt, I guess. Creamy consistency, looks okay. Oh, it smells nice, smells very sweet, very fruity. Let's see. Very sweet. Not bad. Quite sour as well, but yeah, I'd manage that. That's okay. I can see kids liking that. They have to have a sweet tooth, but that would do the trick. So, yeah, that's a dessert, so it's obviously a bit different, but that was okay. Didn't mind that at all. This is, yeah, not easily palatable for someone with a bit of a sweeter tooth. And then these were quite nice. So this first infant milk, I'd happily, if I needed to replace milk and drink this instead for some reason, I'd manage that quite happily. That's nice to use. So yeah, that's some of the products that paediatric dietitians use. All have their specialist uses, and it's been good to try them. Now I can recommend them with confidence of what they taste like, and have a better understanding from our research of where we'd be using them as well. Final thought of the day from the podcast I was listening to on the way home. They mentioned something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. I had heard of it, but I couldn't remember what it was about. So this is the idea that as people learn more about a subject, they realise that they don't know much about the subject. What this means, though, is unfortunately usually the people who know the least about the subject are the most confident in their knowledge of the subject. So we tend to find they're the ones that spread disinformation, and this can be a big problem when it comes to things like COVID vaccination, conspiracy theories, and so on. So just something to be aware of, that as you learn about a subject, you get to a point called the pit of despair, where you realise, there's a lot I don't know about this, and there's so much more to learn. But as you persist, then you kind of get into that realm of being an expert. But yeah, something to just watch out for those people who think they know everything and don't.